let's get that up. Okay. All right, guys, welcome. I wanted to put this up so that you can, let me just do this. Okay, cool. All right, so I put this up just to give you an idea of, you remember I mentioned the other day about this 50% of 50% move, the 50-50 trade. Okay, let me give you an idea of what we're talking about here, and then we'll go have a look at what happened yesterday on the charts, and then we'll look at what we're going to see for today. For those of you tuning in or watching this on YouTube, just a disclaimer, everything I talk about is nothing is a guarantee, and trading is extremely risky. You can lose all of your money. I'm just giving you my views on trading and gold and what's worked for me. It doesn't mean I'm perfect, so trade at your own risk. Here at the top, resistance, down at the bottom, support. See this pure selling volume. Okay, black line here is the around 50% of this area. So there's the first 50% here. And I've actually put the white area around it purely because of, if we drag this to the left, you can see how this area is potentially a support resistance zone in and around that area there. Okay, so now what I'm looking for, this zone is roughly 50% of this move. Price is coming up. When we come into this 50% zone, can we catch a sell that is between here and here, 50% of that? Now, that's only if there's enough pips for you to catch your move. So as an example, Junior mentioned that he's looking for 60 pips. So this one here, this move, let me get rid of that. Okay, cool. So for this move here, would there be enough pips for you to be able to catch that? Well, you need the whole entire move, and we're only looking for 50%, which is around a 30 pip move. So no, that wouldn't be valid for you. So now what we do is we then go and take a look on the lower time frames here to try and find a ram candle. Okay, that's what we do. So now we go to the 45. All right. And as I'm going through the time frames, all I'm looking at is where are these key areas. There's a support, there's a resistance, we've got all of these wicks here. So there's a higher possibility the area is going to be in here, right? Then I go to the 45 minute. I can see, and let me get rid of those just so you can paint the picture better. Now I'll go to the 45 minute. Again, I've got our ram candle right here. We've got wicks that have come straight to this area. Cool. Now I'll go to the 30 minute. Okay, still can't see anything. Up until this area is the first area where I see anything, but there's a load of congestion over here on the left as well. Now I'll go to the 20 minute. Cool. On the 20 minute, now I can see we've got this area, but this wick, this one here has already retested it. So it's not really on my radar right now. And then I go to the 15 and there you have it right there. The second one that has not been retested is all the way up here. So that one's not really valid for this exact purpose, but this is the zone right here, this one and the wick here, which is why I did take a short sell at this point. And then as we get in on the live call, it done a 15 pips. I just shut it down, purely ready for the live call. So that's the move. Now, where would the TP be? Is there an area that we could look for our 50%, 30 pips? Yes, there is. Perfect. Then that is my move. Now, essentially, this is the same theory. High, low, 50%. If it comes here, you're looking at 50% here. But on the lower time frames, there's not enough pips for you to really breathe. So essentially, will that move happen as well? So what am I talking about? Price has already come up to here. Does it come back down to here and then pull back up to here? Right? That's exactly the same move that we're talking about, but just on a lower time frame. Okay. So as you go through the lower time frames again, 10 minute, 5 minute, yep, everything is telling me that TP can be at these zones. And we've already created our drop, base, drop, another sign that it's coming down. 3 minute, we've got our lovely candle right here. That will be the target for a 30 pip move. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions on that? Now, it's a lot easier to show when we're doing this based on a 1 hour support resistance zones. Yeah. When we're looking at higher time frames, it can take longer. It can. But does anybody have any questions on that 50% rule? Nobody? Can you give you one more minute?
Ask a question.
Go on, mate.
So, well, exact same thing this morning, but I made the error. I didn't really understand, but I just went to 50% and I saw the round candle.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my question is, do I always need to still need to find the round candle?
Which time frame was this on? When did you do this?
I did it about 4 to 6, 5 this morning.
So tell me, just explain to me then. So what was the time frame you were looking at to identify this move?
I was on the 1 hour.
Okay.
I measured that drop was about 190 pips that fall. So then found my 50% about 96 pips, I think it was. Then dropped to the 15, and it was the exact same candles that you highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
So I highlighted the RAM candle, but then that was below the 50%.
Yep.
So just to clarify, I'm always looking for that RAM candle in and around the 50% area. It doesn't have to be exactly 50%.
Yeah, correct. It's if it was exactly 50% every time, everybody would be doing it,
Mm-hmm.
So definitely is not the case. Also, then here's the thing: if you take the shot here and then it breaks through this zone, then you now know that is going to be your next area. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, if it comes up into this zone, it will then turn and go down. So it just depends on how big a stop loss you can have. And if you're looking for a 2-to-1, there's a high possibility you get stopped out if it does that move. But this is why we always say have a stop loss, because if it does break through, we can now identify what the bigger move is.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So and when you see this, when you see what other confirmations are there, what other confirmations are there over here and here that tell me this is a very strong area to take the shot? Right. And if you've got it, you've got to take the shot. You got to take, if that's the way that you trade, you've got to take the shot. You have to. Yeah.
I actually took the buys up to it.
Cool. And what was your reason for taking the buys?
So I found there was an entry on it was the 5. Yeah, there was a ram on the 5, around 5.
Over here?
I'm just checking my own chart. If you go on the way down,
mm-hmm.
A little, there. So I took that when it went past it, pulled back to that, and then I got in.
So you got in here?
Yeah, and I took the buys up to, and my TP was 50%.
Beautiful.
But I closed.
So it's a really nice move. When you see these bigger moves happening on a higher time frame, and we're coming closer to a session open like London, then to be able to identify this, there's so many different. I don't know why my indicators keep vanishing every day. It's the strangest thing ever. I don't have a clue why this is doing it. Ichimoku cloud. And where's the other one? This is super annoying. I'm having to do this every morning. Cool. So what was I going to show you here? Let me just change all of this. Because it's like yesterday. There's some times on the charts where there's some really nice, obvious moves. And I don't say obvious to be patronizing with people that can't see it. It just takes time to recognize these types of moves. But once you do, honestly, guys, it makes such a big difference for trading. Let me get this up. Cool. All right. So now down at the bottom here. So what have we got here? Here. Perfect. So this move down at the bottom, if we go down to here, cool, and we go to the 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute, okay? So now on the 1 minute, we can see that beautiful trend line. You've got, so how do I identify the break to the upside, okay? And just like Danny said there, I've got my supply zone here, Okay, so if I'm expecting us to pull back up to these areas, I really want to see a break above this supply zone to get confirmation. If I go to the 3 minute and the 2 minute and the 1 minute, okay, there's no other supply zones close to it except for this second one here. So now all I'm waiting for is the break above the three indicators. So firstly, I can see we're creating an uptrend. And this is the 1 minute, but this is where you can really identify this. You're creating an uptrend. Normally, if I find a 15-minute candle turns into a bull candle as well, that's another confirmation for me. So let's go back to the one. Now we can see this move that's happening. Okay, breaks above, creating our round candles to the upside, comes to our supply zone or close to it. Now I can readjust my trend line. This is a typical move, by the way. See this here? This is a typical institutional type of move. It's only 10 minutes in on the on the 1 hour candle. Okay, only 10 minutes in on the 1 hour candle. So therefore, once you now see it break back above these areas, you've got a good idea of knowing what's potentially going to happen here. So watch, you'll see it again, come back up, see that move, break back up. Now you're good to go. You really are. Even though it hasn't cleared this supply zone, when I see this, stop loss down at the low and you're good to go. Yeah, I did it yesterday with Shreyas online live. We were doing this and I'll explain to you guys what I did as well myself. And then it's a case, right, where's your targets? So now this is where you identify where are the RAM candles. And that's, do you have the, I won't use the gentleman's terminology, but are you strong enough to be able to hold this, right? So there you go. Look at this. Tested the supply, broke above it. Probably going to use it as support. I think that's what you said it did, didn't it? There you go. Used it as support and then broke above. Crystal clear. Really nice trend. And if you look at the trend line, it's just respected the entire trend line. So now, if you put this trend line up and we look at what price is doing right now, watch to see if it breaks it. So let's go back in time. And now we're respecting it. Cool. Now we've got our RAM candle to the downside. Go to the 1 minute. Are we below all of them? So is there a high possibility now we can come back down? Well, we'll try and figure that out shortly. But nice, mate. Really nice trade. You're picking this up really nicely.
Yeah, I'm disappointed because I did see the RAM, but my autistic brain was too fixed on the 50%.
Well, the thing is, here's my question for you. The first trade, what percentage did you make?
Yeah, on about well, I closed it once I saw the rejection at that RAM. I closed it probably about 0.21, so I'm happy with that anyway. But
And what was your target for the day?
well, I was just going to do that, and then the rejection at 50%.
No, but what was your target percentage for the day?
Each trade was just at a 0.25% win. I was just going to do those two, and
sure. But what's your target for the day?
0.25%, and then
you're done. Don't take the second trade. Why would you even risk it? Like the trouble you're going to have is the more you're on the charts, the more you're in the casino, the higher the probability. You just get one wrong, and you'll say, "Oh, I'll just go one more time." What you're potentially doing is you're conditioning your brain to overtrade.
No, I've been off the charts for like a week now, really.
Yeah, but what I mean is, in terms of what you're doing there, you're conditioning. Trust me, you can be extremely disciplined 99% of the time you're on the charts. Fantastic. It's that one day. Mark my words on this, bro. It's that one day, and everybody knows about it. When that one day comes, game over. And it puts you all the way back at square one, and then you have to go and redo it again. I'm sharing this from my own experience to say to you guys, and I'm not just saying this to you specifically, but it's for this example. Guys, if you don't understand this part, you're going to end up wasting as much time as it took me. Every single one of you. And don't think you can try and reinvent the wheel. Please, it's proven. Go and look at documentaries or interviews of all the top traders, minimum 3-4 years. It doesn't have to take that long, but if you're not going to be able to condition your mind and you're going to do the same mistakes as everybody else, it's just going to take as long, if not longer. So, for instance, if you have a plan and it's 0.25% and you took the buys, and then all of a sudden you go take that sell and you're disappointed you didn't take the sell, like taking that sell is not going to make a difference to you. It's not. It's not going to change your financial situation today. Not taking that sell has the potential of changing your financial situation in the future because you just condition yourself to be disciplined. Yeah. You guys can do what you want. I'm not going to tell you, like, I'm not going to be aggressive on it, but I just watch and I'm like, yep, making the same mistakes that I made. We can tell them, but they don't believe that the kettle's hot, so they have to burn their hand, you know? And that's why you've done amazing there, catching well over 50, 60 pips, I believe. So if you've caught that and now you got up to the top, you're done. Like the casino paid me today. I do not need to come in here to try and risk. Okay, you can make more money, but you're going to have to put your money at risk if you want to make more now. There is absolutely no point. And all it takes is for that one trade to have gone slightly wrong, stopped out, and now in your head, you're thinking, oh, I've got to make it back. That's the phrase that kills everybody. I need to make it back. Yeah. All right, bro. I say it with love. I really do. And I hope that people don't just go down the same path I went on. I really don't. It's just so painful.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It is that continued learning process for me. Hence why I've been out of the charts for a bit to force myself to have that, go through that kind of FOMO and watching everybody win. I'm just not taking part. So you are right. It's just a continued journey for me.
Yeah, no worries, bro. No worries. Appreciate you sharing. And it's a great trade, by the way. Eva.
Oh, I was just going to ask a question.
How are you feeling, by the way? You feeling better?
Oh, thank you for asking. Not really, actually.
Yeah, not nice. But, not nice at all.
It's like, well, I'll probably, yeah, it will pass.
What's your question, Madame?
My question is, I also took a buy at 74 something.
Yep.
Because I believe basically that we're at a resistance zone. And I actually struggled to find an entry. The only thing I noticed, and I don't know if that kind of, I would like you to comment on that, is that it kind of rejected on the DMA on 15 minutes. And so that's actually where I took my buy.
You're talking about this morning, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So what time was it that you actually took your that you were looking to try and execute? Roughly.
I'm still in. Actually, I can't see that. I entered at the 74.98.
Wow, that's an amazing entry. Okay, cool. So you entered around here, yeah. So let's put a line roughly.
But 74. Actually, I was looking. I was on the Heikinashi. I kind of used that. Nice. I used a lot of things to try to find an entry, but I ended up entering at the rejection of the. But I don't know if that's valid on such a low time frame. Basically, that's my question.
Got it. Well, everything's valid. It really depends on if you back test it to be able to see it's valid, right? That's all it really comes down to. What you want to, like, if you look at all the trades we took yesterday, that was all based on the higher time frames.
Yeah.
Right? So what you always want to do is have the picture painted for what are you thinking the daily story is going to be today. Yeah. Once you know what the daily, so yesterday closed an extremely bull candle, no top wick, just aggressive drop to the downside. So now we've come to our ram candle over here. Let me delete this. Oh, there you go. Now we come to our ram candle here and we've got stuck. Okay. So what is your theory for the play today? Okay. That's what you really want to try and figure out. Once you know what your theory is in the play today, then how is that play going to work? So if you're essentially thinking price is going to go bullish today, right? Are you thinking that this is the area it's going to come to and then just reverse and take it? That's the case. You want to be looking for your buy areas. Okay. Now, also what you want to pay attention to is the base of this body. All right. And can we come down first before we go up? If that's what you're looking for. Yeah. Then you also want to have, if we break below this, do you have a contingency plan if it starts going the opposite way? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, in terms of if I go to the 12-hour, the 12-hour is looking extremely bearish. I do not foresee a news, London session for the next 3 hours pushing this to be a bull candle. However, it's gold. So I'm very respectful of knowing, well, gold could do that if it wants to, but there's no signs here telling me it's going to do that. Okay. Over on the, and the times are different, some on a different, let me go over to my one here, because the candlesticks are different, right? So if we turn this off, you can see we came up to our major supply zone and rejected heavily. Okay. So this is how it looks on, oops. This is how it looks on my one. All right. So 12-hour supply zone at the top, congestion over rally-based rally at the top. Key area for this, sells were extremely valid if you could hold them. Sadly, this mofo got stuck here at the top, and then that's when market closed like this. Okay, so I couldn't really stay up and take a trade, so I had to just leave it. 8-hour, extremely aggressive, all the way down to this demand zone down at the bottom, and then we closed, and now we're stuck at this area. So it's not the prettiest, to be honest with you. We've got 6 hours left of this hour candle. It could flip and drop, or it could just push straight back up. Now, when you watch on the 4-hour, okay, so again, coming back to what confirmations do you have to take a buy here? Well, firstly, you've got this area here on the 8-hour, and you've got the daily wick area. So confirmation that there is a very high possibility it's not just going to break through that zone. So that's basically your insurance policy. Go to the 4-hour, go to the 3-hour. Okay, 3-hour, dangerous. Right, 3 hours, extremely dangerous. Why? Bear candle, bull candle, no wick to the downside, 2 hours left of this. So for me, there's a high possibility it could come back down. This is how I'm just viewing it now. 2-hour came all the way down, closed, and then we had this new 2-hour candle push down and then start the move to the upside. This is a great example of how support is created. Go to the 1-hour. Perfect. Congestion all to the left. 45, 30. Can you see this one right here? Right. So if I get rid of, and by the way, this is where you see this previous area we had in green, which was then price came through and just obliterated it. Now I've got this one here and the previous 2 greens. So that is a double confirmation for me on a same area. Okay. So that's where you could get a confirmation. Look at the 30-minute, close with support wick to the upside. Look at the 20-minute. Okay. And this is when now you just want to identify on that time frame, when can you see the move? And the move is exactly what we just mapped out with Danny. Yeah. Where you've got a 10-minute, you got this. There's no real clear sign on the 10. Go to the 5. Perfect. You got the nice wick to the upside. Really, you want to wait for it to do exactly what Danny said, or how we viewed it on the 1-minute, where you wait for a certain move. So price comes down, breaks out, don't take it here. You've got a supply zone, wait for the pullback, wait for some manipulation. Then once you've broken that area, so that will be your yellow marker. You know, we do these yellow markers. That will be my yellow, actually, you can see them up the top. That'll be my yellow marker. Once we break there, buys, support, stop loss at wherever you're looking for, and then try and ride it out to the upside. That's what I would do. But you've done great. If it's more of a guess, it's not a problem. It's just understanding these moves. When you see the bigger moves coming in and it's a new 2-hour candle and it's come all the way down to here, then you know there's a higher possibility that it's going to do a pullback up. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
The 3-hour candle has already done. This is the second 30-minute candle of the 3-hour candle. Look at this engulfing. Do you think we're looking for buys or sells? We're more than likely looking for sells, especially when you look at the 3-hour. Well, it is sells now. We've missed it. Okay, no problem. Let's quickly go over what happened yesterday, because I want you guys to really familiarize yourself with these moves that we saw. Okay, all of these moves were just liquidity grabs. This one here, just below. So I was in buys around this zone, aggressive buys, and then I had to get stopped out. right? Once we came down to this area here, I then watched on the 5 minute and I saw this play out. Okay, so let me show you. I saw that and that, okay? Once I saw that and that, there's my supply zone here on the 5. Let me go to the 10 and the 15. Perfect. Let me go to the 3. There you go. Right, so you see this supply here. That's my marker to know once I break this area on the 3 and the 5 minute. Once I break that area, I now know there is a high possibility that we're going to go for the highs, okay? And so all I did was I actually entered at that point, and you can see here what happened. Yeah. And this was purely, what made me think that was going to happen? This was purely based on the higher time frames. So on the 3 hour, wick to the upside, tried to take it out, tried to take it out, tried to take it out. And then once we came back, closed as a bull candle, all 3 of these. Once we then break this high here, or you can catch the buys if it pushes down to flip, then you're taking that ride and all you're doing is identifying this. And once you identify this, you've got areas to move your stop loss or take profit. And then you've got your TP area at the top. And then at the top, that's where you can look for sells. Okay. And if you look, price then again, tried to break, bull candle, and then eventually did it. And then look what happened at the top, came up to this area and then aggressively broke and fell. And when you look where it falls back down to, damn, I've got way too many things here. Let me get rid of them. Perfect. So now when you look where it fell back down to, can you see how we just smashed through these 2 areas? Well, they will be TP1 and TP2 on the way back down. Okay. I don't want to waste too much more time because of the what's going on right now. So let's quickly delete everything and let's go to the 2 hour candle right now and see what's going on. So my entire move was based on yesterday on the 3 hour and the daily. Is it a daily? I think it's 12 hour maybe. Sorry. Yeah, 12 hour. So you see how we take out the rest of this wick to the upside? That's what I was aiming for. Aiming then for this area here on the left, which was complete. So now, daily, 12 hour, 8 hour, perfect. 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour. How's the 2 hour closing? Cool. So everybody will now think the 3 hour is going to flip. If this pushes down slightly, I'm expecting to push back up first. And then I don't know if it's going to go this way or we're going to see that. That's what I'm expecting to see, just based off of the 2 hour candle, right? So now I'm going to quickly see if there's a round candle, 1 hour. How's the 1 hour closing? Bull candle. If it closes a bull candle, expect a quick drive up. 30 minute, 45, 30, 20, 15. We're at a round candle right now. So 10, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, great. So I'm foreseeing this move happen very, very quickly. Anywhere around here, I'm seeing something like this, and that is at least a 20 pip move. I wouldn't take this personally. Okay, there's possibility to come even to here. I wouldn't take it personally because it's just too risky. But it's good to mark out and see if it's correct in the move that we're looking for right now. Take a look at the trend line. Cool. We don't really want to be breaking that trend line, which could be anywhere here, like so. And provided we don't break that trend line, how did it close? 1 hour, bull candle, yeah. So buyers are valid on that if you are looking for a trade at that sense. I would be, if I was going to trade now, I'm not. I've already hit my quota. I would be looking for, now you can just wait at this point and there is your supply. Once we see that move go like this, that's the move that I'd look. Be careful because at this point, there is a lot of support resistance here on the lower time frames. Otherwise, if it breaks higher, then there's even possibility of coming up to this area at the top. So just watch and see what happens here. Okay. Most people, London's open, will be thinking that's selling now. Most people. Okay. Watch and see if this reverses. Now, there's the option here, stop loss, where it is. There's the option at the low. There's the option of waiting for it to break this supply because it could continue down. And if it does, take the stop loss because then we can identify other areas that we're looking for. Now, based on the 3 hour, I'm not expecting it to shoot to the moon. I'm not. So let's just wait and see what happens. The safer, so there's 3 ways of taking this. FOMO, take it when the market opened. Fear, sniper entry, or super safe entry. So what do I mean? Price opens, price comes down, price comes here. So it really depends on your risk tolerance level and whether you need to take a trade, but watch and you'll see. Let's go turn on the indicators. They should help us, guide us. Cool. 3, 5. Yeah, it's looking really nice to the upside here. Okay, just be careful of around this area here. So there might not be enough pips for you to actually have fun in this move. That's only 11 pips, so be extremely careful. I would suggest once it gets that area, grab this, get it straight at break even. Yeah, because if it breaks back through this area, then we're looking for predominantly price just to fall. Otherwise, I don't see any of my types of candles I'm looking for at the moment, other than the 3 hour, but we've missed it. Okay. We're looking at this wick to the downside being taken out. If I go to different time frames, 8 hour, 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour, 2 hour wick to the upside, actually just looking on the 2 hour, it's a really nice buy, actually. It's a really nice buy on the 2 hour. So now, is it possible to be able to catch the 20 pips? My confidence level has gone up higher with that buy. Take out wick to the upside. We're stuck here on the left. We've got all of this over here on the left as well. This is a really nice trade. Yeah, this one's a really nice trade. Anywhere in around this zone. I couldn't see any other round candles. So really anywhere in around this zone, stop loss at the low, and then try and catch a round candle to the upside. You really want to catch a 2-to-1 if possible, or at least a 1-to-1. There isn't enough margin there for a 2-to-1, or room, should I say. 1 minute, 1 hour. Yeah, so you're better off waiting for that 1 hour to flip to the upside. Once it flips, then put your stop loss wherever the low is, which would be like this, essentially. That's what I would do if I was looking to take that. Let's push that in here. Now, if it continues down, take the stop loss, because then we have our marker. If price does come back to this area, we now know that this is the zone that we're looking for buys once it comes back. And it should come back to take out that wick at some point today. And if it doesn't, whatever day it does decide to come back that way. 45, 30, 20, 15. Would that be the area? I don't know if that's a white candle or not. Let me see. I don't know if that's a white candle down there. I think it's a black candle then. Yeah, it's a black candle, so that's not valid for me. Let's see. 5, 10. Perfect. 5 minute. Perfect. 3, 2. Don't see anything at the moment. To be able to prop it up, that's the problem. I don't have a round candle down here. But I am not convinced with this move. Where's the 3 hour? Yeah, I'm not convinced with this move. So what's the next thing that we've got to pay attention to? Next thing we have to pay attention to, Asian low. Cool. So let me just do this quickly because I didn't map it out. Let's see over to the left. Is there anything here on the left that can give us an inclination that this thing is going to reject? So anywhere below this line here on the left, I want to see a round candle. Is there any round candles over there on the left? 20 minute, 15 minute. This is technically a round candle here, but it's not a white candle, so I wasn't as confident. But this is the area. Watch, you'll see now. Let's see if this thing does flip to the upside. to the left, below the black line, are there any round candles? 10, 5, nothing, 3, nothing, 2, and let's quickly, nothing there, 1 minute. There's a lot of liquidity down the bottom though, so you'll be careful of that. 1 minute, nothing. Okay, cool. Perfect. Let's go back to where price is. And let's watch. So 1 minute, let's get my cloud up and wait to see when we, or if we decide to get an engulfing break. Now this is a really nice area because you see where the EMA is. All right. Now I've got my trend line that I can do like so, which is basically, this was the first way, like this. And then now, oops, and then we've got this one, which was creating here. Okay, cool. Can you see what's happening? Can you see it? Can you see it? Okay. Cool. So now I'd like a little pullback and then a break to the upside will be really nice. Now let's see if a common theme happens that was similar to the one before, like Danny saw, where you get that aggressive pullback. One more time, and then see if we can get the break above. But look at what's happening now. Look at this on the 2 hour and the 1 hour. Everything's pointing to the upside. All right. So let's see. There's your move. Great to watch. Other than that, guys, that's it. That is the play. Five minute, 1 minute. Let's see. Yeah, nice. I still believe that this should take out more of the wick on the 1 hour and the 2 hour. So there's the one. Yeah, I foresee this still taking out a larger portion of that wick to the upside on the 1 hour and the 2 hour. So yeah, I don't know if you guys got in at any point, but that is a nice move. Watch it on the 1 minute. Let's just go back, see how we came to the EMA, rejected, and then wait and see if we can break this area now and continue up. If it breaks and falls to the downside, no problem, but it's taken out majority of the 3 hour wick, so we're kind of in a really good position here. Yes, no worries, 9:30. Patience, patience, patience. Just watch now and see what happens. In bias, nice. 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 There's your pullback. So now let's see. If we get it wrong, no problem. If we get it right, 3 hours looking good to the upside. 3 minutes, sorry, not 3 hours. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Otherwise, that is us. There's nothing else to see at the moment. In the group chat, I can post some trades if I see any, but right now I don't see much at all. I am still foreseeing us take out more of the wick to the upside. Extremely strong support resistance to the left. Yeah. So my theory on this is based on the 1 hour and the 2 hour wicks to the upside. And the 5 minute as well, I believe. Yeah. Harmony called a buy as well. Good confirmation. There you go. Perfect. Noah's given out a buy signal. Excellent. Cool. Anybody catch it? We're done. That's me. I don't like to be on the charts too long. So
thanks, David.
Pleasure. Everything's broken down. As I said, if it continues down, then you know that we're going to have a break to the downside. I don't see it happening just yet. I don't. So if you are in trades, let us know you get on in the group chats if you need any help. Otherwise, we will see you on the next call.